Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a really great DIY to share with you, and that is how I created this absolutely beautiful and elegant spring wreath for less than $10 in less than 1 hour. This wreath looks like it comes from a boutique on Etsy. It's so pretty, and what makes this wreath so special are the paper rosettes. Now these flowers, they look like they're very difficult to create, but I'm going to tell you it is so easy. I'm going to show you how to make these flowers. Once you make one, you're gonna wanna make a dozen. Most of the items I purchased were either from the Dollar Tree or on sale at Michael's, and I just wanna let you know, Michael's is having a sale on flowers right now for spring. So I got these flowers, the flowers that I got from Michael's, for just $4, and that was the most expensive part of the DIY. If you do give it a try, and you're on Instagram, take a picture, post it with the hashtag createahomeyouTreasure or tag me. My handle here is the same on Instagram at MissJustinaMarie, and I'd love to see your take on this DIY. With all that said, I hope you enjoy this DIY, and let's get started.
Before we assemble the wreath, we're going to make the paper rosettes. All you need is a sheet of paper. I happened to pick up 2 sheets of this paper at Michael's for just 79 cents each, and these sheets are textured. I don't think you can see that, but they're really pretty. They have a nice weight to them as well. I'm using the wreath form I purchased at Dollar Tree to make a large circle, which I cut out, and that basic circle shape is the starting point for the paper roses. By the way, I could not find my craft scissors anywhere, so I just used whatever scissors I had lying around. So you can go ahead and do the same. It does not affect the quality of your end product. Once you have your circle shape, you're going to begin to cut around and around the circle in sort of a curly-Q doodle pattern. You can see I've included a drawing of the shape you'll be cutting, and it's best to watch me do it first and then try it yourself. I'm also going to show you this process one more time before we assemble the wreath. You'll know if you're doing this correctly because as you cut, the paper should start to bounce back at you, sort of like a slinky. So keep cutting around in that curly-Q pattern until you reach about the center of the circle. You want to leave the center of the circle flat, almost like a plate, because that is what the paper rose is going to sit on. Now we're going to create the petals or the folds of the rosette. So starting at the outside edge, you're going to roll the paper up towards you. It's a little tricky in the beginning because the roll you're making is very small, but don't worry if you crush it a little bit at first. Just stick with it and keep rolling because it gets easier as you go along. I also found that it was helpful for me to turn the paper as I rolled it, so keep rolling and rolling the paper until you reach that plate at the center of the circle. Once you see the rose form starting to take shape, use your thumb to press the center of the rose down just a little bit. So in other words, you don't want that center of the rose where you started the roll popping up. When you finish rolling the paper and you reach the center, you'll see what I mean about that center of the paper being like a plate. So that's what your rose is going to sit on. What you want to do is put your finger in the middle, so have your rose sit on the plate. Put your finger in the middle of the rose and gently start to release the paper that you've rolled. This is going to give you the size of your rosette and also how far apart those petals are going to be. So I wanted this one to be about the same size as the little plate in the middle. Then you're going to glue the rose that you made onto that little plate area. So I'm just using some Elmer's Craft Bond glue. You can also use your hot glue gun. And you're just going to press the little rosette onto that plate area. I'm holding it there for a few seconds. And there you have it. You have yourself a beautiful little rosette. Now I'm going to show you how to do this one more time. I'm going to use a smaller circle to begin with, and I'm not going to do a voiceover, so you can just watch the process. Oh, by the way, if you don't want to see this process again, you can fast forward to about 5:25. That's where I pick up with how to assemble the wreath. Okay, now let's assemble the wreath. Here is my wreath form that I picked up at the Dollar Tree along with the flowers that I purchased at Michael's for just $4. They're very nice flowers. I also made 10 rosettes. This pack of burlap I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm actually going to use 2. And these ribbons were free, I just found them lying around my house. So starting with the burlap, you're going to place some glue, either hot glue or craft glue, at the edge of the burlap strip. And you're just going to start to wrap the burlap around the wreath form. I overlapped slightly because I thought it gave it a nicer look, and every so often I add a little bit of extra glue to make sure that the burlap ribbon stays in place. Once I was finished wrapping the wreath in the burlap, I went ahead and cut off the strings that were hanging from the wreath. I just wanted it to look nice and neat, but if you're going for a more rustic look, of course you can leave them. I think that's more of a personal preference. Going in with the first of 2 ribbon scraps, I started to wrap the ribbon around the wreath in an evenly spaced manner. I didn't glue down the ribbon to start because I wanted to map out the pattern first and make any necessary adjustments. Every so often you'll want to pull your ribbon tight to make sure that you don't have any gaps and to ensure that the ribbon is smoothly wrapped around the wreath form. And if you so choose, go in with the second ribbon. If you don't want to use a second ribbon, or if you only have 1 ribbon, just use 1. You can really get creative here with colors and textures. For example, another combination that might look really pretty is a blue and white ribbon, or a blue ribbon with a white ribbon and yellow roses. Now that I have the ribbons arranged in a way that I like, I'm using my hot glue gun to adhere the ribbons to the wreath form. And now it's time to start placing the roses onto the wreath. So I'm just using a little hot glue at the bottom of each of the roses and then pressing it into the wreath. And now we're all ready to the last step of the DIY, which is to add some greenery. As I said before, I picked up this stem of flowers from Michael's. It's very good quality, very pretty, and I just pulled off a few pieces and adhered them to the wreath using my hot glue gun. And there you have it, a very easy, affordable, and elegant wreath that's perfect for spring or even for Mother's Day. I think this would make a really good Mother's Day gift. As you can see, the wreath looks really pretty on my coffee table, and I also have it featured in my 2019 Spring Home Tour, so I have that linked below if you want to check that out.
Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And also, will you consider sharing this video or another one of my videos with your friends, maybe on Facebook or on Instagram? And also in the comments section, let me know if you'd like to see more of these types of DIY videos. Would you like to see more chalk paint videos? I'm thinking about doing a big chalk paint project soon, but I don't know, like, is chalk paint still the thing? Maybe I need to find out. Anyway. Thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate you. I really enjoy doing these projects, and I hope you enjoyed them too. So I'll see you in the next video, and hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!